friends, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about this book, actually this series right here, Caraval. This series is a YA series by Stephanie Garber, and she's got another trilogy in this world, but I haven't read that yet. But I wanted to talk to you today about my thoughts about this whole series. Now, this book is about two sisters, the whole series, about these two sisters that want to go to Caraval, which is a magical 5-night adventure. And if you win, you beat the game, you win a prize. And I guess the prize is different every year, but you have to make sure that you don't lose yourself, because when you participate in the game, you have to remember that it's not real, but yet at the same time kind of is real. You know what I mean? These two girls, Scarlett and Donatella, they lost their mother a while ago, by not like that their mother's dead, but she disappeared. So then they were left with their father, who was very abusive. And so Tella's goal, really both sisters' goals, is to get away from the father. Tella's goal is to figure out a way that her and her sister can be free and do an adventure. But Scarlett's goal is to basically get married in this arranged marriage, and then her and her sister will be free of her father and will be safe in her eyes. So in this book, Tella makes a deal with Legend, who is the master of Caraval, so that way her and her sister go to the Legend's Island to participate in Caraval and ultimately figure out a way to get rid of their father, like away from their father. But it's also a subplot about romance. So the first book is, you see it through Scarlett's eyes in third person. And you're following Scarlett, and you're following her trek through Caraval and her romantic relationship with Julian. And then in the second book, you follow Donatella. She goes through Caraval. They're in the main Meridian Empire city where the Empress is then, and Stephanie Garber introduces the fates, and there's one fate that you really get to know in the first in the second and the third book, but you get to learn more about the fates in the third book. But while you follow Donatella, you also get to see her relationship with a character named Dante, who you meet in the first book, but you don't really get to know him until the second book. And then you learn something in the second book, and I won't ruin it for you, about him. And then the third book, you go back and forth between Donatella's point of view and Scarlett's point of view, because it is third person limited. It's not in first person, and it's not third person omnipresent. Because if it was third person omnipresent, you would probably know, like there would obviously be breaks in the chapters probably to switch whose eyes you're following through. But because in the chapters in the third book, it specifically says who you're following, then that is who you're following. And you don't get to see into anybody else's eyes other than Donatella and Scarlet's. So you get to follow the finale, basically, which is what the third book is called, of Scarlet and Tella trying to save the city from the Fates, but then also their romantic relationships with Julian and with Dante. Overall, I'd have to say the first book I really liked, but the second book I liked more, and I think it had to do with not that I didn't like Scarlet as a character, but I really liked Donatella as a character more than Scarlet. So I loved reading through her eyes, and I think I loved her romantic relationship plot better than Scarlet and Julian's. And I don't know why, I just did. And there was also kind of like a triangle with Donatella, Dante, and a fate named Jax that you meet in the second book. But ultimately, I really enjoyed reading this series. I have heard her next series is even better than this and people like it a lot better. And I will be reading those at some point this year because I want to get those done. But I really enjoyed the world. It was very unique. I liked the different magic that was in it. And I would probably say, because Brandon Sanderson he calls it soft magic system and a hard magic system. And most of Brandon Sanderson's stories are hard magic systems. This one, I'd have to say it's got some rules, but also doesn't at the same time, because each fate has specific powers. And so they have to work within those powers that they have. But there's multitude, and there's multitude of fates. So it's kind of like a medium magic system, like if you boil a hard-boiled egg for 7 minutes or 8 minutes, it's gonna be not hard. Like if you boil the egg for 9 to 10 minutes, like the yolk is not going to be hard, but it's also not going to be still really gooey if you only boil it for like 6 minutes. You know what I mean? This I would call in the middle is kind of what I'm thinking, but I really enjoyed her writing. I read some reviews about the third book when I got done reading it, and some people were saying that the timeline didn't make sense. It was just all over the place. And I'm like, did we read the same book? Because to be honest, the first one was my least favorite out of the trilogy. The second one was my favorite, and then I really enjoyed the third one. And this one was the least favorite, was the first book. But it wasn't because of the writing. It was just because I wasn't jiving with Scarlet and Julian very much. Like, I thought they were really good characters. And I enjoyed kind of the quest that Scarlet was going on because she was trying to find her sister. But the romantic plot for me wasn't hitting like the romantic plot hit in the second book for me. So ultimately, this one was my least favorite, but it was because of the romance. It wasn't because of the writing being poor. The writing, in my opinion, is not poor. I enjoyed the little extras that were in here. Like at the beginning of this book, it's just letters that Scarlet writes to Legend. And then through here, like there's scraps of notes and other things, and they're all like illustrated, and I really like that. And there's designs too. So like they're all parted. Like this one, it says Night 4 of Caraval. But do you see how it's got the roses? And each chapter has a line with the roses as well. And that's the same throughout the entire series. I thought this series was really, really good. The writing was really good. The story was unique, but it also had a basis point of these sisters will do anything for each other, regardless of what's going on. But to also know that each sister wants each other to be happy. And so, like, Scarlet wants Tella to be happy with Dante, and Tella wants Scarlet to be happy with Julian. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I thought it was really good. I don't have anything else like to say about it, at least on a technical level, because my education is not in literature. So I don't know technical terms. I just kind of tell you how I feel and if I like the book or not. Like, or if I thought the writing was really good. Now, granted, I can tell you, I've read enough books, I can tell you if the writing is like first grade. You know what I mean? There's some people that write adult books that read like they should be middle grade. And there's some people that write YA books that are at an elementary level, and vice versa. Some adult books are written at like an elementary school level, but you can tell that pretty easy, especially if you read lots of different books. But this one was not at a first grade level. It was not at a middle grade level at all. This was definitely written very, very well. And I think Stephanie Gerber could definitely write adult, but the only reason why, in my opinion, this is considered YA is because her characters are under 18 or 18 and under, and her romance is young adult. It's not vulgar, it's not explicit, which is fine. You get the feel of the romance and you can tell the yearning and the angst and the pull that they have for each other through the context of what she writes. It doesn't have to be explicit to do that. And that's another reason why I really like YA romances. Not that adult romances aren't fantastic, but this, like YA romances, you have to do it differently to get the same, if not better, feeling of the yearning and the angst. And then once it gets to that like point of their first kiss, you're like, holy crap, I've been wanting them to do this chapters ago. You know what I mean? And you still get that in adult books. But there's more stuff that comes with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I digress on that aspect. Caraval. Read it. If you have not read it yet, it is fantastic. If you like YA, if you like magic, if you like manipulative games, and if you want to read about two sisters that love each other wholeheartedly, and you sprinkle in some romance too, check it out. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. The whole series. Definitely enjoyed it. Well, guys, that was my review of the Caraval series. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read the series and what your thoughts were on it, or if you haven't read the series yet and you're excited to read it. I would absolutely love to know. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and be good people.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the